Hello, happy Tuesday. It's Melissa here at the Fuzzy Goat in Thomasville, Georgia. I'm going to talk to y'all about my projects today. But first, I wanted to say how much fun we had Saturday, and thank you all for making it such a special day, our local yarn shop day on Saturday. We were very tired, but it was just a lot of fun. And we had fun seeing everybody, and we had probably 12 people here for most of the day knitting. It was just really, it was fun to see. Okay. So what else? So the weekend. So we had Saturday, it was super busy. And then Sunday, we drove to help my daughter pack up from Georgia Southern. She is not coming home till later this week, but I realized I couldn't get there to help her. So we took as much as we could. Boy, yeah, organizational skills lacking a little bit. So we had to help her, and it really just was us throwing things in bags. It was bad. Hopefully, though, she's going to have a good week of exams and she'll come home Monday. And then I went through her room here and I challenged her to keep the room here looking like it does when she gets here, which is going to be a big challenge, I think, for her. But it's funny because it's like she just has a lot of stuff. I'm like, you've been at college for a year, haven't worn these clothes at home, so like maybe you don't need them, right? So I'm trying to help her think through that. All right, so what else do I got to talk about? Oh, yes. Oh, so I was going to talk, so on top of local yarn shop day this weekend, we had what we call the Rose Festival. So it's our city, Thomasville, is called the Rose City. We're known for our roses. So it started me thinking, what is our state flower and what is our state bird? Because somebody was talking about on Monday, my play day, when I was, hello, my husband's watching, and Harriet's watching. When I was playing on Monday, I was playing tennis and it was a beautiful morning and the birds were out and we kept seeing all these cardinals. I'm like, what is the state bird? So found out that the state flower is a Cherokee rose. Don't know much more about it than that. It's a pretty rose. It's pretty. We looked it up. And then the bird, which I thought might have been a cardinal, is actually a brown thrasher. So I'm just curious if you all know your state's birds. And so I'm from essentially North Carolina, which is a cardinal. And then we lived in Chicago, which was also a cardinal. But I understand cardinals might be like a lot of state birds. So just saying. So with that being said, we had the festival. And it turned out fine. We were afraid it was going to get rained out, and it was just a real busy weekend this weekend, not even just here at the shop. So it was just a lot of fun, a lot of energy. All right, so let's start talking. Hello, Kathy, and Judith is watching as well. So we had Alicia here, and of course we have a lot of her pairings still up online, and we have samples here. So I'm going to go through the samples. Maybe I should do that now. I'll do that now. I am wearing Lily pattern by Dan Doe. It's really super fun to wear. She had some different options, so I think we may have one or two kits here, but it is a Dan Doe pattern. Hello, Rebecca. And your state bird is the robin. Robin, got it. Hello, Marcia and Pamela. Okay, so let's talk about some of her sweaters. So like I said, we still have some of her yarns here. And I love when Alicia comes because she's actually given me quite a few pattern suggestions for sweaters. She knows that's what I like to knit. So this one, and I forget, is this, I can't remember who the designer is. Pearl Code, Caitlin Hunter maybe? I can't remember who the designer is. This is a DK weight. Let me make sure I'm telling you right. Well, she held fingering double. So I think you could probably make this in a DK weight, but it's Pearl Code. Is that what it's called? Yeah, and you actually get to design your own code here, which I think is so cool. Nylene messed up your sweater. Nylene is taking my class, and she just said she messed up her sweater and should start over again. Is right. Text me and let me know if I can help, and hopefully you learn something. Doesn't that sound like such a parent thing to do? I just hope you learn something from your mistake. Anyway, so this is looks like a really fun, you get to, like I said, pick your own patterns in the like Morse code. I don't know if you can see it. So she's got where the pearls are is a little message. So that could be actually really fun to do, or maybe it's too much thinking. I don't know. But yeah, this is fun. What else can I tell you about it? No, that's all. So it's on Ravelry. Yep. And okay, Marcia, where are you again? So your flower is rhododendron, and your bird is the willow goldfish. Oh, she's got all kinds of information. And you're up, I want to say, Washington State, Marcia? You have to let me know. This is the lounging top, and I think she did a little fade here, which I kind of like. I have made this lounging top, and I think I made it. I think it's a little too big. I still wear it, and I'm considering maybe making it again because I do have some fingering yarn that I would love to do a little fade with. So isn't that cool? It's a lounging top. Construction on the lounging top is similar to the top I'm making the Joni, where you do the back, go down, you work it flat, then you put it on hold on stitch markers. And Marcia is Washington. I thought so. And then you pick up one shoulder, put it on hold, work it down to a certain point, pick up the other shoulder, put on hold, and then you join the front. So then you're working back and forth in the front, and then you join in the round, and then you work the body. So interesting construction. And there's really nothing to do. You just pick up and do this little on the edging here for the sleeves. That's all. So that's a lounging top. This one, she had Alicia, and you check out on our website, we do have links to this yarn on the yarn product page. So if it's a fingering weight yarn, you should go to Knitwise fingering, and you should see a link, hopefully. If not, just text us. Or I'm trying to think what else. Alicia had some gorgeous, and I know it's summertime, but some gorgeous bulky yarns. First time we've had bulky from her. And this pattern was super fun and popular this weekend, let me tell you. So this is using her bulky yarn. Billowy Bulky is what she calls her Knitwise. And this is Ursa. This designer is the same one that I'm doing my Moon Crush, which I haven't talked about yet, but this is the Moon Crush. I believe it's the same designer. Pretty sure. I may be wrong. I've been known to be wrong before. But if you could feel her billowy bulky, it is just so soft. So I have, in my mind, I have some type of a vest, because you know here where we live, like a heavy vest. Maybe, you know, I don't know. I have a picture in my head. So, but this is super fun. Again, you can make it longer. You could do shorter on the sleeves if you wanted to. But this is super fun. Okay, Ursa, URSA. Okay. And this one, sorry, just knocked one down. This one is a DK. It's Easy Teasy, and as Alicia says, then it's in the name. It's easy, Easy Teasy. This, did I say DK? Yeah, I said DK. Floofy DK, which her Floofy DK is also lovely to work with. All right, and this is also the bulky. Oh, so soft. And Alicia actually said, so it's kind of like a little dress. She wore this actually to work in Tallahassee one day because her office is so cold, so cozy. This one is called Parapawa sweater.
Yeah, sounds good.
So, okay. So, and again, I think she made this longer. Is that correct? I think the pattern has different options in it, but again,
but you can always make it shorter.
You can always make it shorter. Yeah. That's what I love about knitting. Like, people look at patterns, even like the ranunculus, and they'll be like, oh, I don't wear my sweaters that big or oversized. You don't have to. You just pick a different size. You make a different size, which is awesome. This one, was this Isabel Kramer? This is the one you liked. Was this Isabel Kramer?
Oh, I love that one. I think it's a Hoagie.
Hoagie. Yeah. And pockets. Candace loves her pockets. That is really cool how she does this pockets though. It's the whole side of the sweater. I didn't notice that. And it's got some little detail here. Hoagie sweaters are so nice. And in the back. And this is fingering as well. Her floofy fingering. So check that out. Did I tell you the name of that? No. Granito. And again, you can see them on our website, fuzzygoatyarns.com. Here's the yellow one that I dropped. This one looks really cool. Of course, you know, it's getting hot here, but that's why it made me think. Kind of reminds me a little bit of ranunculus. And I'm going to talk about ranunculus, which is why I keep bringing that up. This one is her fingering. It's the Maya top. M-A-Y-A top. Cute, right? And I'm thinking the same thing is you're doing the lace work across, and then you're dropping the sleeves. You don't need to do anything else with them, and then do the body. So, and the cute bottom on here too. looks like a little, I don't know, it looks like a different bind off, maybe not. Okay, we're just gonna put that right there. And this is, I think this is a fingering held double. Nope, just fingering. And she said this one grew a little bit. Timo. So it's a little tank top. Actually, you could probably wear this as a cover up. Somebody asked me that. This would be cute cover up. And, sorry. Oh, this one, this is the one I made my daughter. She picked out the pattern, she picked out the yarn, and guess what? Didn't go to college with her. This is the Minimalist Cotton Tee. It's a DK, and of course you can make it longer. Yeah, it was super simple. Like, yeah. And I just wish, of course I made it to fit my daughter, and I can't wear it. So, anyway, and then we got these, a couple more back here. Let me turn around. This one was very popular this weekend. Can y'all see this? Let's see. Let me turn it. So you knit this, and then you knit that out. So it's called Geometry, and it's with her tweed. I want to get that closer. Her tweed is beautiful. I'm sorry, I can't get that closer. It is super soft, and it's a DK. We call it Tweedy DK knitwise, and that one's called Geometry. Let me turn you back this way. Hello. And then this one is also in her tweed. Which one was this one called? She made this one really long too, but I don't think it has to be this long. Or it just is using her Tweedy DK. Yeah, this is called Coastal Crop. Clearly, I don't know if you can tell, but it's pretty long. It is not a crop. And Coastal Crop raglan. So it's got raglan sleeve, which I love a good raglan sleeve. And there's a little detail on the side too. It's kind of cool. I don't know if you guys can see it. Again, that is the Coastal Crop. And then this one was pretty popular. This is using her billowy, bulky too. Pearls de Plume. It's French, I'm told, but it's super cute. You can use it as kind of like a cowl or like a poncho, you know, come bring it over your shoulders. So yeah, check them out on our website. All right, I feel like there was one. Anyway, okay, so let's talk about my projects. I told you about what I'm wearing. Jane's watching and Betty's watching. Thank you for watching, guys. What's the first one I have on here? And it's May. What happened? Like, it's May all of a sudden. It's crazy. Okay, Stephen West. And I am slowly chipping away at this. And I do see that I'm making progress. And this is what I'm going to call my Europe shawl. We do actually, shockingly, have a trip to Scotland this summer because my son's going to go for a camp. And, you know, what good parent wouldn't go over there while he's there to visit him, right? So we have to go for a few days. And I will be bringing this because it should be chillier. Okay, so I've started another repeat, and I think I'm going to lose track. I thought I was going to be playing a little yarn chicken because this stripe is with a gray, which I knew I was going to be kind of tight on. But I thought I had several balls of it, and I didn't find it last night, and then I found it. So I think I'm going to be okay. I think it might be a different gray, but it's going to be just fine. And so I have to finish this repeat, and I think I have 2 more. Is that what my note says? I think it's 2 more repeats. The one that gets me is like this one. There's 7 repeats. That just seems like a long time to have to sit in it. So the next one I do, I think only has 2 repeats, and then the last one might be just 1 because there's so many different rows. So I'm getting there, and then I got to figure out what to do with these guys. I mean, I know what I need to do with them, but it's a lot of ends. I should have done the Stephen weaving end thing, but that's okay. It's all right. I don't typically mind doing that. So yeah, almost done with this guy. And that is the Moherino Medley by Stephen West. Check. All right, the next one. I do have quite a few projects. This one, but a couple of them are kind of at that look squirrel stage, if you want to call it that. So this is my Peach Fuzz, and I'm still enjoying working on it. I measured, and I'm actually 15, so I said 15 inches. So I'm from here to where I am knitting, and I have to get to 20. So it's feasible that I might finish the body of this in not too long of time, as long as I don't get too hot working on it. It's so soft, so soft. So Peach Fuzz is by Melanie Berg, I think is how you say. And it has to do, I don't know if I ever told you that, guys, this story, maybe I did. Peach Fuzz, I guess she had a bout of cancer, and through her treatment, this is what she developed, and Peach Fuzz, because her hair was growing back. And she just needed something that wasn't too, didn't involve too much thinking, so it's pretty simple. And it's a worsted weight. All right, look, squirrel. What did I do with that one? Hold on. So this is the class that, and Lynn loves the Peach Fuzz. I like the Peach Fuzz too. I think I would get a lot of use out of it once it is done next year. All right, so this is my Peach Fuzz. This is my Casapinka Look Squirrel, and I'm definitely in the Look Squirrel section. So I do try to knit on this a little bit every day, even if it's 4 passes, you know, 4 rows. I am alternating my skeins. I think you can kind of see it up here, where I used one skein up here, and then I started switching, which I'm fine with that. And I think for the sleeves I won't have to switch, which is lovely. I am 9 inches from underarm down, and I have to go to 11. So yeah, getting there. And I don't think, oh, I don't have cadences with me. I don't think there's anything, is there any, oh, the little seed stitch on the bottom.
Yes.
Just a seed stitch. The sleeves have a little lace work on them, which I look forward to that. I always like a little something on the sleeve. It just makes it more interesting. So yeah, so our class has a couple week, let's see, we didn't meet last week and we're not meeting this week. So the plan is that we will, and some of them may be on this, to the point of separating the sleeves. And like I said, some might be on, which is totally fine. And if you have questions, if you're working on one at home, please text or email us. I'm happy to try to help you on that. I'm trying to think what else we did. Like we didn't have class, so that's, yeah, like I said, most of them I think are working on the lace chart. Yes. And an interesting thing came up this weekend about make ones. So, and I just was talking to a lady here about that. There's many different ways to make one, so you should always look at what they want you to do in the pattern if they have it in there. Sometimes they don't. The lady here, I didn't see it in the pattern she was working on. I'm thinking she was going to do make one, she's supposed to be doing making ones like we are for the Look Squirrel, but she's going to reach out to the designer and to clarify that, because it can make a big difference. And let me tell you why. So I don't mean to throw Harriet under the bus here, but it, I think, is a good learning lesson. So she was doing her make ones, knit one through front and the back, but she wasn't coming out with the same amount of increases by the end because she was using a stitch to make one. And in the pattern, the intent was to make one picking up the ladder between them. And I think when she did that, she got to the right number. So it can make a difference, I guess is what I'm saying there, on how you do your make ones. So what else? Yes, this is a fun one. I really like picking this one up. This is the Joni, and it's enough interest without being,
All right.
yes, it's all my notebooks over here. I mean, it's enough lace work to be interesting, but it's not all the time. So I have a lot of rest rows, and you can see there's a little rib going on there, a little garter every 10 rows. So yeah, I have a ways to go on this one, but this is where I am from the sleeve. I have this repeat here in the middle. I have to do it 4 times. I am in my 3rd repeat, and then it has, let me see if I can find that for you guys. It has just a little bit of finishing work to do on the bottom, just like once. And let me show you that, because we've had a lot of talk about charts too. Where is it? There it is. Okay. Yes. Okay. So obviously chart, I'm working from the bottom up. Looks like I'm about, not quite, almost halfway into my 3rd repeat. Here's my little indicator there. And once I do it 4 times, then I just do this part 1 time. So that's how I'm deciding where I am in the sweater. So I don't know, I mean, I have more than halfway to go, like to go. I'm not halfway yet. There we go. But I have been enjoying that too. And that's called Joni, Joni. I'll put the links up. Oh, thank you. Lynn likes the color of my Joni. This was from the pop-up that Copper Corgi was here. This is her silk yarn. So this pattern does call for some sport weight, which we do have some sport weight, or a heavier fingering type situation. This is a fingering, but I do think it's a thicker fingering. And that's what I'm going with. And if you decide to do fingering, do a gauge swatch and decide if you might need to change your needle size and then change your finished garment size. So this is the Joni. Okay, and Cadence, I haven't shown you my drawing sweater.
Ooh.
I have flowers happening and it's getting more fun.
Yeah.
Like I can be a little more relaxed doing it. Although I will say, it's kind of a funny story. This week, you know, we went to see my daughter and I made my husband drive because he doesn't typically like to drive, but he's better off in the morning, so I let him drive. I made him drive on the way there so that I could knit, and then I was going to drive back. And I was all over him because from here to Georgia Southern, there's a lot of back roads, so like the speed is constantly changing. And I kept saying, you need to slow down. I was like all over him. And then guess what happened on the way home when I was driving? I got a speeding ticket. And I was so mad. Everybody was like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm getting pulled over. Like, I was so mad. He was coming towards us. I'm like, I was coming over a hill and he was coming towards us. I'm like, how? So yeah, so I got a speeding ticket. But anyway, so this is my drawing sweater. I have all my fun little markers on here to tell me when I'm on the front, the right, here's my sleeve marker, right sleeve, left sleeve, my front marker, yeah, front marker, and my back marker. And my back, you can see all my little short rows, which is why that's longer. So it's gonna come up on my neck, but still be level at the bottom. And I think you can kind of see my flowers developing. Yes, it's fun. Yeah, I did kind of, so I was telling you, I did work on this in the car. This is just my lifeline, which I can probably take out. Kind of hard to see, I know. But that part I'm having trouble with, and Cadence, I don't know if you're having this problem, is this is so small, like when I go to change where I am, I have to really, really focus.
Right, I have to focus and then I have to match it again.
Yes, and then I have to count every row to make, because what happened.
Well, I'm not counting, I'm looking to see if the design matches.
True. And then I think, but I can't decide if I really got off. I think when I was lining this up on one of the sleeves, I got off. And I don't know if I just didn't then do that part. But when I came back to it, I realized it. So I don't know. But I will say it's just so small, the numbers, you can hardly see them over here. And they have like, she has numbers over here, if you can see them. But it doesn't match up then with the sleeve one. Those numbers aren't there. It's just, you just have to pay attention to this part. But the knitting part has gotten much easier. Easier? Yeah, because it's just color work. So it's been fun. It's been fun. So the drawing sweater. Yeah. All right. And if you can do it in the car, I think that's pretty good. That's what I'm going to say. Pretty good. What else? Oh, yeah. So this is the one, Moon Crush. She is size inclusive. She has 2 different options for the neck, and of course you can make it crop or longer. She has directions for that. You can do a 2-color or 3-color, and of course to adjust the sleeve length. She also has a different pattern called Moon Crush that's tank, I guess she calls it, like sleeveless. But I think I like this one and being able to adjust the sleeves a little bit. So I'm making this in 3 colors just because I thought that was going to be fun. It is, I'm going to mess this up, Intarsia? Not Intarsia. Yeah, Intarsia. I always get that mixed up with, what's it?
Entrelac.
Entrelac. I always get mixed up. So, you know, it's kind of block knitting. So you have this color and then you're switching here in the middle of the row and then you're going to switch again. But right now I'm just at the bottom. And let me show you. I'm getting better. It is not perfect. Which one is it? I think where it was. It is not perfect, but right now I'm on the back. So I'm just kind of knitting along a little bit. Well, hold on. My sloths are all tangled up. They're not moving very fast. Okay. So I'm supposed to do this, I think 64 rows of the stockinette. All right, there we go. Now you can see. See, I do have a little oopsie doopsie down here. And that's where I was thinking when I was carrying my yarn, okay, that's the ribbing, that it always had to be on the back side. Well, going back and forth. So I wasn't paying attention to what side was my back side when I was doing the ribbing. Of course, the stockinette, I can see that. So I've been better at making sure that it's a cleaner carry there. So it is interesting to do it. And because sometimes you're doing a carry on a purl row, which is kind of like we were doing with the drawing sweater. So anyway, so I have 64. I think I'm more than halfway in my stockinette. This is Copper Corgi Azalea. This is one of Ryan's yarns. And then my third color, if you haven't seen it yet, voila, is a navy. I don't know why I just want to say that. And then I think, oh, okay, so this is, I think my navy is going to be over here. I think I'm doing that right. The pink's in the middle. So there we go. My first attempt at doing, not entrelace. What's it called again? Just lost
Intarsia.
Intarsia. I just lost it again. My first attempt. So I'm thinking it's kind of fun, and I'm thinking all of a sudden I can see like making my nephew's son, who is like just a few months old, like maybe something like with maybe a unicorn or a football or something, like just a plain sweater with it in the middle. Kind of cool. If I can get it down to perfection. No, knitting is not perfection. It is not about perfection. Oh, okay, so the last thing I want to talk about, this weekend, if you guys were up here on Saturday, I was wearing my ranunculus, and a lot of people will say to me that can't be the ranunculus because it's not oversized. So I have two ranunculuses, well, that's hard to say. The first one I made is when she only had 2 sizes, so it has more ease in it. And I used lace weight and a fingering when I held them together. So that was my first one. And then the second one I made is when she broke out her pattern a little bit more, to the more specific sizing, not just 2 sizing. So I made it that way. And I'm pretty sure I made the smallest size, which is a finished bust circumference of 46. So I'm a 40. So, and I also made it using Alicia's floofy fingering, which has nylon in it, so it's kind of stretchy. So when people ask me that, I think I made the smallest size. So I am getting ready. I just have the pattern here to make one for my mom because I've had this for a while. Look at my local yarn shop day bag. I love it. And I just got inspired this weekend. This is the goat and fingering, and that's what I make my mom's out of. So I'm going to have to talk to her about how much ease she wants in hers, but also keeping in mind that Alicia's, the Knitwise yarn is stretchy. So I probably have some leeway there. You know, even if I make it too big, it's not going to be huge. The one thing I will say about the ranunculus, I love it. It is size inclusive as well. My neck, I don't really re-knit things, but I've done 2. Now I'm going to make one for my mom, and then I really want to make one in a DK weight. And again, see how big it is on her? You don't have to pick that size. You know, like if you don't want that much ease, you pick the finished size you want. So anyway, and I love it that the pattern, she's got a wide neck or a narrow neck. You can always add length. I did, both of mine are short sleeve, and she's got pictures here with just using lace. It's a big size. It's a 10 needle, no matter what yarn you use. And it's fast. The ones I've made were super fast. So I'm gonna cast on my mom's tonight, and we're gonna see. I'm gonna timer on myself now because I got a lot of projects on. I don't like that kind of pressure. But yeah, so that's what I have for you. Happy spring to everyone. Renee is watching. Hello, Renee. And text us. We'd love to help you put some things together. Check out our website, the local yarn shop yarns from Knitwise, and let us know if we can put any of those together for you. And if you have any questions about the patterns, that's what we're here for. Have a good week, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Take care.